Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are looking at doing another Figure Friday. We have a double pack today. So I have two different Ahsokas. We have one from the Clone Wars and then one from doing the Rebels series. There is a third one out from doing the live action Ahsoka series. To say it this way, looking at the figures, I think I really didn't want to get that one. I thought that having the one from the Rebels was a little bit better looking at the pictures of them, and I'll get into why. Let's start off with Ahsoka here from the Clone Wars, and this looks like this is like her second or third iteration of her uniform, when she's a little bit more of a teenager in that and a little less of a youngling. Let's see here. And I think this one was a pre-opened package or something like that that's supposed to have everything in here. So as I take her out, you know, I don't know if it was one of those things that they had something damaged or something or whatever, but this is what we have. And as we get everything undone, here's her lightsabers. One green, come on, there's a second one in here, it just doesn't want to come out. Oh, come on, there it is. Okay. And then we have Ahsoka herself. And her feet don't want to come out of there, alright. And the wrapping can always just kind of come away. So, here we have Ahsoka. So this is her as a young Padawan. This is, like I said, I think this is like the second outfit that they had given her, which is perfectly fine. It is still her at a smaller size as I squeak and put a box back in there. Okay. So this is all for the 6-inch figure line, and I expect her to be a little shorter, and I really want to see how she kind of stands up towards one of the other 6-inch figures, and I will here in a second. So she still has this iconic like bracelet or I don't know really how to describe this, because she's always had this and it never falls off, and you know, that's the beauty of animation. And they did go to her home world, and it did look like there's a bunch of other ones that had something similar. It's like not quite a necklace, but it is something there, and I almost wonder if it didn't break off on this side. Almost looks like there should be one on this side coming down, but it broke off. Maybe, I don't know. Looking at the print and all that here, I think it did. So this one may not be a complete one. It might be a defect one, which is fine. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's a minor thing. No one's really going to notice all that much, especially when I just have her probably displayed up on a shelf like this. I might give her the lightsabers in her hand. I don't know if I really feel like putting the lightsabers on her belt, but we do have that option if you wanted to have the lightsaber. Here, I can take that out, and on the back side here, yep, you can snap that onto her belt so she can have the lightsaber there. But let's see, twisting her head, seeing how much she can move with her head tails there. She can move a little bit. Oh no. Alright, well, let's try not to do too much of that, I guess. Okay. Her arms are a little on the stiff side for moving, so I don't really want to move it too much. I don't want to break this. This type of figure for Ahsoka does go for a little bit more. I had got, like I said, I had gotten it as an open box from Amazon, so it was a little less. I think it was the only one that they had, so I was willing to take a chance on it. And of course we have the two lightsabers. One's got the longer blade and one has a shorter blade. Has that iconic look, but she's a little bit more covered up, which is perfectly fine. And this hand is a little bit more of a fist, which would make a little bit more sense if you're just going to have like a standard hand. You're not changing them out like they do with some of the other 6-inch figure lines. Let me grab Hunter here because we still have him. And I want to see the size comparison because remember, this is her a little bit older. And she is just a little shorter. So, you know, it works. I don't know how old Ahsoka really gets to be. I don't know the age of her race, how old they get to live out to or whatever else. So in those regards, you know, she's a little bit shorter and all that. I think if you were to put her down to the original height, I think she would have been about here. So, you know, with the Bad Batch coming out, I had gotten a couple of the Bad Batch, so we will kind of go through a little bit of Star Wars. I do have some G.I. Joe stuff that I still haven't unboxed, and I do have some other ones that I've unboxed but are just sitting there. So we're gonna go through a little bit of this stuff. I know other people do it, but you know, just my little take. So I'll get Hunter out of here, and let's see what else we can see here. So I mean, she's got the nice armbands on here, kind of like little armor, and of course she covers up her wrists, her forearms, and her hands here, leaving the fingertips so that way she can, you know, feel things for investigating, or it might help her with the Force. I don't know. I don't think it would really make much of a difference, but she'd always kind of kept her fingers open, and even in the next one you'll see she's got something similar for that style. So they always kind of kept her with that style, and they always had kind of like this loincloth front on her belts here. So nice looking figure. I don't know how good the legs move with the skirt. It is kind of split up on the side, so you can hopefully have her sit a little bit better. Let me get the lightsaber off here, and of course that head pops off again. That is going to be an annoying part, and that's, I don't know if it's just not popped in all the way. Nope, now I heard it pop. Now it sits on there good. Okay, so I must have popped it off earlier. So we can't have her sit. You know, the only problem that I have with the 6-inch figure lines, I love the 6-inch figure lines because they give us more options that we didn't get before. We don't have vehicles. I think they could easily get us like some small speeders or something like that. I think that would be a very big possibility. You know, just the small vehicles, nothing big. We don't need the big walkers or whatever, but at least the small ones. I think that would be good. I mean, I think the biggest size would be maybe the all-terrain, would it be personal transport, something like that. So here we have her as the more teenager, the young adult. And I just had, there it is, trying to look for my little pocket knife. I've always kind of carried a little executor for many, many years, and that's what this is, just a little executor. I find that little scissors to be handy, a little screwdriver, but you know, opening these, of course, then the small blade. Quite often I have a problem trying to sharpen pencils. I don't know what I do wrong, but quite often I find myself whittling the pencils to get sharpened with that little blade, and it does work very nicely for that. So here we have Ahsoka now from Rebels, and the reason why I didn't want to pick up the one from, as it squeaks, oh come on, sorry about the squeaks. And the lightsabers have changed. These are not the original lightsabers. She made her own lightsabers. Okay. The reason why I didn't really want to pick up the live action version, not trying to, you know, I thought the show was interesting, but this is where the difference comes in. Really with the head tails. So the head tails come down this far and then they go all the way down, and then in the live action they shrunk up again because it was a lot easier for the actress to be able to do the things that she needed to do, and I understand that. But unfortunately, if I was to get a third one and you see Ahsoka from here to all the way down here, that then suddenly back up there, that would seem a little odd. As it is, looking at the coloration, because we don't really get a full understanding of why this color differs and how it's all done. I don't know if it changes from year to year or just as they grow it changes or what, but it is a different look. So she has a whole different look on the head tails. And I don't understand why that is, but you could almost say that this is just two completely different characters. Even with the painting on the face. I mean, this goes up here, and this kind of comes down. So I don't understand. It's like there's some similarities, but there's a lot of differences here. So, I don't know. But we did keep a lot of similarities, where she likes her shoulder kind of bare, but then we have going down the arm, and the same thing here. The shoulder's bare, we kind of cover up the top of the arm, and then your forearm, and then we got the gloves where the fingers are exposed there. And she's got like a chest armor piece there. We still have like the loincloth, but looks like a fabric underneath here. And it's more of a armor on here. This is more of an armor piece. A little bit more than what this really seemed, but she's such a small frame here to being a fully grown woman here. And it does make some sense. And I want to get her to stand here nicely. But unfortunately, this one foot is really angled down. And I don't know if it's almost like from the boots itself. Like it just doesn't want to allow me to do it. I suppose if I had a nice little piece that I could actually set it on, that would work. For now, I guess that's what I'll kind of do. I'll just kind of put my finger here. On her armor here, we do have where she can put her lightsabers on there. So if you notice on her lightsabers, she's got rings. So we can put the lightsabers dangling from there. And of course we could take the blades off. So the blades are meant to come off. They showed that they came off, but it doesn't seem to want to come out. So I'm going to leave it be. Maybe it comes off on this one. I'm not going to pull too hard. Nope. That's my fingers just kind of pulling away there. So I'm not going to pull too hard. I don't want to break this. So I'll leave them be. But if we do look at the lightsabers, it's not like... so I could have swore at the end of the series that she was being handed her lightsabers back, but maybe she didn't. But they are a whole different look in the lightsaber. And of course we got a different color. So... and then when we get to see her, I mean, yeah, they're more of a white. It's got like a little bit of a blue onto it, but it is more of a white. And iconically, she had always kind of held her lightsabers backwards. Oh boy. I might have to try and feed this through this way. Not wanting to overbend things or whatever. This is... I mean, it's a rubberized plastic, but I don't want to bend or break anything. So I'm just trying to do this how it seems to want to let me. There we go. Now it seems like it's in there. So she's got that one that way, and then maybe I can get this one in this way. I don't know if it'll... Yeah, it does kind of let me. Okay. And with her head tails and that, her head just wants to sit looking down. Almost like she's looking down on the ground a little bit more. So with her feet being pitched back like this, that makes her look like she's looking up. But now if you look at her sideways, she's look like she's falling backwards. So that's a little awkward. I wish I could get her to look this way a little bit more, but yeah. It is still a very nice looking figure. I do really like this figure. It looks very nice as a grown Ahsoka. This looks very nice, and I like how they had the head tails, because they did do other figure or other characters, and I think they even did it in the movies where they had the long head tails. But in those regards, they were secondary characters, secondary actors, and all that. They weren't doing the main any big action scenes or anything else, so you didn't have to worry about this whole headdress kind of falling off of a actual live action person. And of course, when you see it in an animated show, you can kind of do whatever you want. So it works out very well in the animated. So yeah, we just have to kind of deal with it as it is. But they're very nice looking figures. Having a kind of a twofer here today. It is nice to see how nice they look. I'll definitely be able to put those up next to, I think I've got a Leia, and I do have sugars. I do have some other Star Wars ones. So if for nothing else, I'll when I look at the figures and I start thinking about the names, I'll get it all together here. But yeah, it does look nice. Looks very good. If you do see these around or whatever, think about it. If you catch them either at garage sales, rummage sales, or maybe like a discount store or something like that, that would be wonderful. This is them coming out of the box. It's really their uniform and just the lightsaber. So if you do find them and it's got all that, you got the complete figure. If you do order them and you have that money to spend, by all means, enjoy. But not a lot of people have that. That's why I usually try to find smaller things. Most people don't have a ton of extra money to spend on it. So, but with that being said, thank you so very much for visiting today. Thanks for sitting around the pool table. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.